All right, what is up, everyone? It's gonna be my Inori Kha'zix jungle video, and it's gonna be very different because E evolution at level 11 is gonna be our go-to. Q evolution is gonna be our first one, and the build path is gonna be none other than abusing how broken Dustblade is. And you know what I've been thinking was, I've really felt like the W evolution at level 11 wasn't always the best situation. So after experimenting and looking at stats, I realized E-Evolution at level 11 is actually a very powerful tool that can be utilized. So it's something I'm going to be doing in this video to make sure we really get that benefit. And Kha'zix overall is a really strong jungler, still is super good. I recommend a lot of people play him. You're going to be making a lot of LP, a lot of money. And he's really good for, the end of the season climb that's about to occur. And here, I like to smite and just start going at the big boy with the isolation damage, but it's up to you how you want to clear. I find this way easier to clear too for you guys who want to try that. Just smite with your second smite. Always smite a second camp. We talk a lot about it because it just speeds up everything else. And here, just W to heal to one-shot everything else. Kha'zix is a very strong dueling jungler, a very strong early game jungler, but not on his first clear. First clear, you generally want to kind of play it to farm and just make sure you're not really falling behind. It's that Dirk fight at level 4 that really will kind of help you throughout the game. So oh, that's so sad. 1 HP there. Oh, I should have went for maybe one more auto. It was so close yet so far. Oh, how I despair. Nico. So Hakram's gonna be full clearance, so that just kind of slows me down by quite a lot. If I was able to kill that Raptor there, we might have been able to get a kill on that Nico, but it does happen. Sometimes the game doesn't go always as planned, so you just have to adapt. So here I'm gonna have to go for a level 3 inefficient clear, but the problem is Hakram's gonna be farming bot, right? We already established that. So if I don't want my balling to die to Hakram gank, I'm gonna have to wait here and kind of counter the Hakram on his full clear gank. So here it's not really me ganking, but it's me kind of playing for the Hakram full clear gank. And I want the Hakram to go because if he doesn't go, then I look like an idiot, but it looks like he might not go. Oh, he looks like he's going. So I'm going to set up a little trap here. My boy Silence just needs to go, my man. I'm actually get out. Oh, she's flashing. I think I'm good, actually. Like, oh, that's a beautiful sight. I might even swing here, one shot the crab. You know how it goes. Gang life, how we do it. And Inori's dead. Damn, man, I thought I could actually catch up there. It's okay. I have enough for my Dirk anyways. A smart base would have been... Dude, heck, I'm just too fast, man. I think I was hoping the crab was going to move towards me more. I would have smited and got out, but it is what it is, man. This is what happens when you live a dangerous life. It's just not... isn't for everyone. I want this Silas to check if this guy's on my Raptor, so... Go check, my man. Bro, he's literally on it, man. Why are you just... This guy is blind like a bat, man. He can't see things that are in front of him. You can tell he was on it because there was the camp timer thing. It shows it's still alive. That means there is still camps alive on it. But my Silas just wasn't really willing to walk up an inch for his jungler, which is pretty standard, man. People in League of Legends are very selfish players. They're always going to play for themselves, and the ways they help you is just never in a positive manner. So you can't really rely so much on your teammates as much as you have to just kind of rely on yourself. So here I have to really catch up farm wise. So what I'm gonna do is the crab. I'm gonna do the crab, and I'm just gonna make sure I can just farm up and just play for my camps. Hakram got super head off that, so it's gonna be really bad for us. Hecarim is able to get 6 while we're like level 5. So here we're gonna go back to farming. We're gonna kind of like look at this as like a farm phase, and we're just gonna kind of concentrate on just making sure we can farm here. We're gonna gank. We would probably gank through lane. I think Hecarim will go for a bot gank. Full clear junglers, they have like one sort of direction, is how I say it. They can full clear and gank, and that's about it. Here I have a bit of free time. I could do wolf. That means I'm going to be really far away from potentially ganking bot. I'd rather just be here and just make sure my bot can kind of play aggressive. Would be a better case. So here I could look for, if they isolate, I can easily look for a kill, but mostly Milo would be an easier target for me to kill. But if nothing happens, again, we can just back out. I just want to see if the Milo walks up. That's a free kill. No, this is what I'm talking about. The Dirk level 5 isolation. This is what Kha'zix is really strong about. Is just this kind of damage spike is what's gonna help you make plays. And you have to be creative with like how you gank. You need to make sure you just want to make sure you're generally able to find these isolation moments. Okay, 2 Qs of your Q is 800 damage before resist, right? How many HP does people have? This guy has like, generally people are gonna have like around the 1000 threshold. So in theory, 2 isolation Qs are like kills, and some people are even more squishy. So that's like what I'm trying to like infuse into you guys, is so when you play Kha'zix jungle, is to understand it's this champion without isolation is not a champion at all. Very rarely are you gonna able to kill someone without isolation. So especially early game, unless they're already like super low. So you just have to really, you know, kind of play for that. Here, if I'm 6, I'll be down. Gonna play more aggressive, but actually, Hecarim did die, so I could actually do his jungle or just start the Herald. I think because he's dead, in theory, it's almost impossible for him to come from base and beat me here. So if someone is based or someone is dead and you saw Herald like just as that timer, it's almost impossible for most champions or any champion to make it here. So it's just like a green light for me to like do the Herald. There's like like no option. Like it's already gonna be dead now with the next eye hit that always spawns around 1500. So I get this eye hit, I smite, and now I can Q evolve. I actually do want to see if I can kill the Hecarim. Would be really good, or if I can get on this Nico. Hecarim's all in the blue. I personally am down to kind of fight him here. I'm just gonna wait here. I'd rather him kind of move away from the Grom. He's probably gonna move down, so we're gonna get him there. And we get the Grom too. It's just a win for Inori. You know, just sometimes you just gotta be smarter, like built different mentally and physically than enemy players. So Q evolution is always a really good power spike for 6. You have to really play around that isolation, and the extra range on Q is what this evolution feels really nice to have. And here I'm just doing one more camp because it's actually going to give me exactly enough to have a good buy here. Plus the longsword just feels really good. So here if I killed the Hecarim, oh my god, is this actually an angle? No way. So here if I killed Hecarim, I took his top side. What does that leave Hecarim? What is Hecarim's options? His only option is to go bot side, right? So luckily I have wars everywhere, so it's like I'm kind of like playing with the cheat code, but sometimes you just have to think like, okay, where does this other guy have to go? And here I'm going to do one camp because Gromp is just super easy for me to do. And I'm going to one shot the crab, and then I'm going to make sure, oh, they're fighting. Okay, now I'm going to just obviously play the kind of kill here. One shot him, and then kind of, ooh, I use my R unnecessary. I'll let him push. I'm going to be looking for the Hecarim kill here. Oh, you dead, Hecarim. Oh, he's actually running. Oh, another one. Make sure you just kite with your autos. Use your isolation Q. I'm gonna get the passive slow. See if I can hit that W. And you know, the Dust Blade is just insane value for damage. It's just nothing really comes in comparison to Dust Blade damage. Obviously, I'm playing like really well, but I mean, Kha'zix is a really good counter to Hecarim as well, so I have a really good time. Plus, I understand how, you know, the Hecarim wants to play. That's like a big thing about jungling is like, what, knowing exactly like what the other guy wants to do. Here, I think the enemy bot might stop me on dragon, so I'm just gonna base and come back. Zero boots are always really good. We talked about the build pass, so when we go evolution with our... There's a few ways to build on Kha'zix. Edge of 9 seconds, like, go-to. So, like, they actually hit him. Edge of 9 seconds, never bad. Just always, like, dust weight, edge of 9 second. And then third would be, like, a grudge. But sometimes, if the enemy team is, like, more, maybe, melee, heavy, and stuff like that, you can go for, like, a black cleaver. And just kind of build, like, more into a bruiser kind of playstyle. So here, I'm just showing you guys, this is how much my Q does, by the way. Deletes them. Deletes them. And whenever you have this dust wave by, it just amplifies your ability damage. So my Qs are just like, they're not really fair how much my Qs will actually delete them. And here I might drop the Herald because you can't really see anymore that it's gonna time out. There used to be like an effect that would tell you, but that's been removed. Here I might actually set a little bit of a, I would like to call a little bit of a trap here for the enemy bot who tries to come back to lane, and then they're just kind of dead. And I mean, this game is just mine. Isolation, they're dead. Isolation, they're dead. Don't really overextend. Play safe. When I felt like I fell behind this game, I obviously played heavily, like, for farming. And I played smart. Like, I didn't really force, like, bad plays, right? Like, what did I do? I just took the plays that were close to me and stuff like that. Never really kind of overextended for them. I always just played conservative. Look for those, like, you know, squishy targets, like, pick them. I didn't really take a Shen fight. Why would I play towards Shen, right? I could easily just kill squishy champs like the Nico, the Milo. Super good for killing. And then, like, once you get to this point, you're just kind of, like, snowballed out of control. You just play... You can just look for, like, objectives, and I went for the Q evolution. I look for objectives. You really start to get... You get really strong, in my opinion, when you evolve your Q. Your first evolution is really what... You know, before 6, you're not going to be able to make plays, is what I like. You kind of... The plays are really gifted to you, but once you get 6 in your evolution, this is when you can start to kind of like force your like presence in the game. I can start Herald, I can invade, I have my R, 1v1 is super good. That's kind of like how I look, that's how I look at the Kha'zix when I play. And then after that, like, you just start to become a menace, or like, I'm just able, anytime fight looks good for me, I'm always able to kind of look for it. Few animation tricks, you can kind of like Q flash. You can use your Q while you're jumping on them. That's a really important thing. When you jump, it buffers like your spells. So if I jump and press Q, it will cast Q as I'm in the air. So, and with the W, you can do the same thing, but it doesn't cast it in the air, but it casts it right as you land. So that's something remember too. And always just kind of use your passive damage too. If you ever go in a brush and you auto them, it does bonus damage. So here the game is like really, I'm in like the driver's seat, so I'm full clearing. There's no real rush for me, in my opinion, so I'm just taking my time. I'm gonna play for my evolution. Kha'zix really spikes on his evolutions too. Most important one is like that first and second. Third one doesn't really... By the time you get the third one, the game is already kind of like decided, so I wouldn't worry about that. Whenever Herald is charging an attack, always just kind of kite back. I never want to see you guys get hit by this. Like, it's so obvious, right? Like, he's charging this attack. Just, obviously, I'm not gonna let him hit me. I'm too cool. And I just make sure you don't really let that. So here we're gonna get the E evolution. This is always really good for kind of getting engages off, even with like the Dustwave build pad. Funny enough, you're like, Inori, you could just destroy this guy. I can't actually destroy him if he's not isolated. I don't do damage. But once he isolates, then it's much different. But yeah, I hope you guys liked that video. I didn't get to even use my E evolution. I just stomped them so hard, but yeah, I actually think this is really good. I would go Grudge, and my last few items would be like not DD, GA, Cleaver, stuff like that would be really good. And this was like a Masters Diamond 1 game, but hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Like, let me know what you guys think, and what kind of champions you'd like me to play as well. See you guys next time.